No matter what happens, even if they draft at 6 or 7, they are drafting a quarterback. There is no way they're not drafting a quarterback when there's about 4 quarterbacks that everybody keeps talking about. They have 2 really good wide receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr. could be drafted at 3 or 4. Then they have the offensive lineman from Penn State.
And they have Notre Dame one. Alt is really good. So.
Yes. I don't know if a quarterback is going to be drafted at 1, 2, and 3, or even 4. I do believe the first 2 picks will be quarterbacks. Unless the Bears, who have the Carolina Panthers pick, go 1 and 2.
Or Arizona sticks with Kyler Murray.
I don't think they're going to.
I don't think so either, but it's always a wild card.
There'll be teams interested in Kyler Murray in the offseason. You might not have to give up a first-round draft pick.
You definitely won't know what the amount he's getting paid.
But if he shows up and he actually plays well for the rest of the season, that could be different. I do believe that the Giants will be drafting a quarterback, no matter where they draft, from 1 to 7. Where the Giants are at right now, with Tommy DeVito as their number 1 guy, you would honestly believe that the Giants are going to do everything they can to blow every single game for the rest of the season. They blew the one against the Jets. I don't think it was a coincidence. It felt like the Giants gave away that game. Dable looks like his head's going to fall off. This team is not good. They did make a really good trade for Leonard Williams. They got a 2nd and a 5th. It'll be a late 2nd round pick because Seattle's going to be a playoff team, but you still got a 2nd round draft pick for Leonard Williams. You look at the Giants in the position that they're in right now. They have nothing. They have a good tackle. It looks like they have a good rookie center. Everything else on that offensive line is horrible. Evan Neal will probably be gone at the end of the season. Saquon Barkley could be brought back. They could franchise him or they could extend him. They'll probably franchise him and trade him and get something back for him. Maybe a 3rd round draft pick, because it looks like Joe Schoen wants to rebuild this team the way he likes it. The problem is Joe Schoen has been there 2 years. He hasn't drafted very, very well. This could be a very important offseason for him, because if he doesn't bring in the right free agents and he doesn't draft right and he doesn't draft the right quarterback, he could be out looking for a new job at the end of the season. The Giants, even with Daniel Jones possibly coming back sometime next year, he probably will miss the beginning of the season. He missed 6 games. It usually takes for an ACL tear, especially for a quarterback, 12 to 13 months. Daniel Jones being more of a mobile quarterback than a throwing quarterback, it's going to take him a significant amount of time to heal. Is bringing in a quarterback in the draft the right move for the New York Giants for rebuilding this team from top to bottom? I don't know. They have to be absolutely right about this quarterback. Nix, May, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is going to be the predominant number 1 pick. But if the Giants lose out of the season, and let's say the Bears and Arizona and Carolina start to win, the Giants could have the number 1 pick. Do the Giants draft Caleb Williams? Do they trade out of that pick and still get May if they move down at number 3 or number 4? And they can get an extra 1st round draft pick. The Giants need to start looking at that, because Joe Schoen has not drafted very, very well. He has struck out. Go look at the drafts that he's had in the last 2 seasons. There's a lot of teams looking for a quarterback. This could be a 4 or 5 quarterback draft, but we've seen this before. If you remember the Sam Darnold draft, everybody was saying this is going to be one of the best drafts for the next 10 years when it comes to quarterback. Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, falling off a little bit. I still think he's an elite quarterback. Lamar Jackson's been the best one in that draft, and he was the final pick in the 1st round in that draft.
And you look at the quarterback depth, I think there's a scenario where the Giants definitely could have their eye on somebody else that isn't in that group either. And I think that's what this report from Vacchiano is indicating, that the Giants are going to look at all options. Joe Schoen did attend the Washington USC game. Don't be surprised if he starts to go with 10 more too, because there is enough depth in this draft. The Giants need more than just a quarterback. Whatever quarterback does come in is going to be stuck in a really bad situation.
The Giants need a lot of things. They need to fill in that offensive line. They only have 2 pieces to build on. They need 3 other pieces. Now, if they do it in free agency, they could do that. And how about the wide receiving position?
That's even worse.
We've been talking about Harrison Jr. He could be a guy that could absolutely fit as the number 1 guy. But are you willing to give up that pick if you're drafting at 4, you're drafting at 3, when you can land your future quarterback? I don't know if the Giants should do that. Now, if they're at number 2 and number 3, if I were the Giants, I would trade out of that pick. You could still probably get a quarterback in the top 10. You move down a couple of spots, you still get a quality quarterback, and then you build on that. You can get another 1st round draft pick, or maybe 2 2nd round draft picks of the future. The Giants need to rebuild. They have 1 corner that could be the future number 1 guy in Banks. Is Thibodeau the real deal? Now, he played well against the Jets.
He's been flashy at certain points, but he's too
looked
inconsistent.
like crap.
When the Giants have allowed their most rushing yards, it's been mostly to his side.
Everybody was comparing his skills to some of the best defensive ends